Nobody gets away with what she did. Nobody.
No, I didn't just wake up. Why do you ask? Ow! So Nocturnal Animals is a very weird and different and hard to describe in a short amount of time movie. So essentially, Amy Adams is a writer. Nope, that's wrong. Amy Adams is an artist. Nope, that's also wrong. Considering the first 5 minutes of this movie, I don't think that's art. And if you do, you're crazy! But Amy Adams is married to Armie Hammer, and Amy Adams used to be married to Jake Gyllenhaal, so Jake Gyllenhaal sends her a book, and the book is called Nocturnal Animals, and as she reads the book, we see other scenes acted out in the movie, which I thought was really cool. So that's between another Jake Gyllenhaal, but he's got a beard, and then his wife and his child, and they're just driving somewhere on the highway. And they do not have the greatest of luck. So that part with Jake Gyllenhaal is entirely fictitious, and it's just Amy Adams reading that story, so that takes up most of the movie. And then there are some flashbacks with young Amy Adams and young Jake Gyllenhaal, but for the most part I think it does an okay job of not being confusing as to which time jumps, because in the fictitious story, Jake Gyllenhaal's got a beard, and in the real present, he doesn't. Now, he does eventually shave in the story, but by then, you know, like, alright, if I'm seeing this character and this setting, this is clearly the story. And then to tell the difference between Amy Adams in the future and the past, if she looks happy, it's in the past. That was the first biggest gripe it was the second biggest gripe I had about the movie, except for the stupid, disgusting-ass, fat, naked people in the beginning, was that Armie Hammer sucks. He is just the worst actor ever. He's always so boring in everything he does, and he doesn't look like he cares about Amy Adams. Now, the two of them, their dialogue at the beginning is like, you don't look like you're happy to see each other. You don't look like you're in love. And maybe that's the point, but it just made me not care about those scenes all that much. And it's very nicely contrasted when she's with Jake Gyllenhaal in the past, because the two of them are, they smile, they tell jokes, they have, like, realistic date dialogue that I wouldn't know if it's realistic because I've never been on it. Shut the hell up. But the romance between Jake Gyllenhaal and Amy Adams was much better, and it made me think kind of like, Amy Adams, why did you leave him in the first place? Now, the actual story that she's reading, Nocturnal Animals, that was kind of awesome. You know, initially, it is very intense. Aaron Taylor Johnson plays this creepy-ass, pedo-looking guy, and he plays it very, very well. Now, initially, Jake Gyllenhaal and his family being in this really messed up situation, I'm like, alright, Jake Gyllenhaal, you had a couple different ways out of this. And also, people, this is why we carry guns, because there are some shitbags out there. Those scenes are some pretty intense stuff. Jake Gyllenhaal's acting is really, really good. I was looking at the poster for this movie, like, this looks like a copy of Nightcrawler. Not at all. Jake Gyllenhaal is a completely different character. And now Michael Shannon plays the sheriff who helps out Jake Gyllenhaal, and he is awesome. I think this is my favorite Michael Shannon role I've ever seen. It's very Michael Shannon-y, but he's just so cool. It's like, this guy is just the best. Now, usually Michael Shannon plays some kind of creepy, unsettling guy, and he does, but it's on, like, the side of good because he's a cop and he's helping out Jake Gyllenhaal, so he's being creepy and unsettling to bad people, so that was really, really cool. Oh my god, I can't see. I'm looking into the stupid light and I have a bunch of purple splotches in my vision. Oh my god, stop. So, I hope I'm looking where the camera is because I really can't tell. The music's very good too. It's a very non-traditional score, but it is still string instruments, so it's not like crazy electronic, atmospheric, moody stuff, but it is good. There was one shot that I did really like where it shows Amy Adams and then Jake Gyllenhaal, like, both in the past and then in the story and in the future, and it's like their faces just go from so happy to so just crushed, and it's just, I thought it was a cool shot. Now, this movie is explicit beyond belief, so if you have any qualms about nudity or rape or violence, maybe want to skip this one. At times, it does help to, like, add to the desperation of the situation and the, like, oh man, I just don't want to be here. This is just wrong. And that does make for good filmmaking. And then there are times at the beginning where it's like, that was just so unnecessary and stupid. But one of the coolest things about this movie is I was putting myself in Jake Gyllenhaal's shoes, and I'm like, what would I do in this situation? It's like, having that have happened to me, how would I want to go about taking vengeance or retribution or justice, what do you want to call it? And I'm like, I can always fill in a bubble on a test and be like, oh, that's what I think I should do. And then, like, your emotions, and in that kind of situation, you can't trust yourself. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. It's not about taking vengeance for what happened to you, it's about making sure that never happens to anyone else ever again. At least that's how I would justify it in my mind. I thought Nocturnal Animals was a very unique movie, was a very well acted movie, and was a just very interesting and thought-provoking movie. And I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Yes, I know, it's a poinsettia because the tree broke. I know, I didn't think you could break a tree, but apparently you can.